What's up, y'all? It's Chanel as fuck, and you're listening to the 5 Minute Self Love Podcast.
So, have y'all ever been in a situation where you needed to forgive yourself? I found myself in that position over the past couple of weeks, and it's been tough. I'm not gonna lie. And while it may, be more likely for you to forgive other people, I have learned that forgiving yourself can sometimes seem impossible. And as a mom who has recently ended a 14-year relationship with the father of her children, forgiveness of myself has proven to be one of the most difficult things I have ever taken on. And, I know that forgiving myself is one of the keys to true inner healing and peace. But seeing the tears run down my son's face as he processed that, both of his parents would no longer be living in the same house with him just sparked many feelings of guilt and shame and anguish within me that a part of me was telling myself that I deserved. So, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is often defined as a deliberate decision to let go of feelings of anger, resentment, and retribution towards someone who you believe has wronged you. Now, what is not so commonly discussed is how to do that when you are the person who has made the mistake or caused a point of contention. But I've learned that there is scientific evidence that learning how to let go, learning how to move on, learning how to forgive yourself are all important for your mental health and your overall well being. So, the first step to self forgiveness is accepting responsibility. It's also the hardest step. But understand that accepting responsibility for what you've done or what has happened can lead to healing and growth. And that's really the point here, right? So, by doing that, you can avoid negative emotions such as excessive regret and guilt. Now, self forgiveness does not mean we skip the step of feeling bad, right? Like you let yourself feel your feelings. That is part of the process. We have to work through these feelings of, self resentment and then relieve ourselves of those emotions once they have served their purpose. And when you're confronting your actions and accepting responsibility, it's important to approach this with compassion for your heart and mind. So I'll give you guys an example. When I was explaining to my sons that their father and I were no longer together, I felt an immense amount of sorrow. Now, we had this conversation with them together, but afterwards, I was just very self critical. And during this time, I also confided in my friends, my loved ones that I trust, and I was met with many encouraging words. I was met with reassurance that I am indeed a good mother. As yes, it may be a sting now because it is so fresh, but in the long run, I'm doing what's best for my children by not attempting to, maintain a false sense of peace with their dad. I am focused on being true to myself and walking in what is in alignment with my destiny, with my purpose. And so now I'm able to hold on to, the words that were given to me when intrusive thoughts come. I have something that I can reference to help reassure myself, yes, you did the right thing. But even when the person that you're forgiving is yourself, making amends and apologizing is an important part of forgiveness. And so that's the next step in the process of self forgiving. One way to practice self compassion is to honor and remember the context in which your actions occurred. So, just using the same example, in this particular instance, I had to keep reminding myself that this is for the better, right? I want my children to be better than me, to live a life that, is more free than I have lived up to this point. So, if my goal is to be a model of that, why would I stay in a relationship that was clearly out of alignment for me and model a life for my sons that I wouldn't even want for them to live? I always want them to stay true to who they are and do what is best for their soul. So, in order for me to make amends with myself, I have to go even deeper and forgive myself for staying in a relationship 4 years past its prime. I had to apologize to myself by saying, Chanel, it's okay, honey. You did what you thought was best at that time. The decisions that you made had your sons at the forefront, and you were doing what you thought they needed in order to be happy and healthy mentally. So, the final step to self forgiveness is making a commitment to do better. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Like, we are imperfect human beings. And literally, just take it from somebody who has once been in a place where I would fall into the trap of self hatred and rumination, which is just dwelling on negative thoughts. I even have a tattoo to show that I made it to the other side of that valley. You can check the link in the description for that tattoo, a picture of it on my Twitter profile. But you guys, as you are on the path of forgiving yourself, we have to find new ways to learn from our experiences and grow as a person, right? So, in many cases, working with a mental health professional can help you discover the insight and get the guidance that you might need to learn how to forgive yourself. I currently see a therapist on a weekly basis, even when I'm not in the middle of, lifing, because I want to take a more proactive approach to my mental health the same way I do my physical health. So, on this journey, you have to make a commitment to treat yourself with the same kindness that you would show another person, because the fact of the matter is this: the forgiving state of mind is a magnetic power for attracting good. And that is because forgiveness forces you to grow beyond what you were and allows you to let go of what no longer serves you. Thus, of course, making room for the new. So, if y'all remember nothing else I've said today, remember this: at any given moment, you had your reasons for any action you took and any decision you made. You have always done the best that you could do with how evolved you were up to that point. So forgive yourself for all the things that you did or did not do or say. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. See the description for links to all of my socials. I definitely invite y'all to reach out, send me a message. I love chatting. I love creating genuine connections with people who are on this journey as well. A journey of healing, a journey of growth, a journey of just becoming a